Hello everybody and welcome back to another video up on my channel. In today's video we're going to be talking about different builds for the new cursed weapons brought from the latest treasure hunting event. I'm going to show you guys a build for the cursed broadsider, the cursed rolling pin, and of course the cursed scythe. But with all that being said, let's hop right into the video. So let's start off this video by talking about why cursed weapons are so sought after in this game. And it is mainly because it gives you a 35% damage increase. And that right there is basically like having a 5th star on your weapon. So it's almost like you're having 5 stars on your weapon at all times, meaning that it is so incredibly good for just doing high amount of damage compared to any other weapon in the game right now. Just how good these weapons are is just something crazy. This is one of the main reasons why the Elder's Mark is one of the best guns inside the game, because of its cursed effect. Really, any enemy that you face inside the game will not be able to stand a chance if you have one of these cursed weapons. And so that is why they are super sought after as well, guys. It's just so nice to have these cursed weapons for the damage that they put out. As you can see, we're hitting a 10,000 damage with just this broadsider, and it can go up even more if you have the full buffs and everything like that on as well. But no matter what, if you guys like certain builds like the broadsider, or if you're more of a melee, that is perfect as well, because the sickle and the rolling pin also have the cursed effect on them. In order to get these weapons, you had to play the treasure hunt event inside the game this last weekend. If you guys missed it, you can always try to buy it off of another player. And if you guys are interested, I have a Discord linked down below. You can always ask somebody in there if they're willing to sell an extra one they may have gotten. But now let's go on and talk about the different builds that we have. First, let's talk about the broadsider though. So now let me show you guys the exact build that I have for this cursed broadsider. So now for this build, I have this as my specials. And for the exact perk cards, this is the exact build that I will be running. Now, we will want to have certain things like Bandolier is almost a must because of how much the cannonballs will weigh if you do not have this. Along with some other things that you will see, we have Demolition Expert, we have better criticals, ricochet, class freak, just the normal stuff that you will see. But then you will see some other things like maybe awareness, and that is because the broadsider does not have great accuracy, so we want to try to get that up as much as possible. Another thing you will see is Nerd Rage. Now, Nerd Rage is not necessarily for just bloodied builds. If you take damage periodically, which you will, this will pop and it will help you. So just keep that in mind. This is one that is not necessarily needed if you guys are lower level. But yeah, and then on to our legendary perk cards. We have all different special and then taking one for the team. But this is the broadsider build that I will be using in this video. So then you guys have already seen what this can really do to, let's say, a Scorch Beast. But just note, these are enemies with such high health bars, and it absolutely just goes through it like nothing. Like 3 shots, maybe 4. And I bet you could get that a lot lower if you guys were full buffed with different buffs like overdrive and stuff like that. But you can see that this really one-shots anything and everything around you, and you should note that you do want to keep enemies at bay, because you do not want them to come up close to you like this, because they will do an absolute ridiculous amount of damage to you if you hit yourself with this broadsider. Also note that my health is not going down in the slightest either. This is a great build to just stay alive as much as possible and just really good for different events or even running in the raids. I will note though that the Guardian, the first stage of the raid, does not do well because he does not take explosive damage, and that is what this build is. So if you're going to use this in the raids, maybe pick a different weapon for the first stage. And then this is the exact build that I have on this Broadsider. So I have Sniper's Explosive Swift Pinpointers with the multi-shot canister, which gives me 3 shots before I have to reload. You're going to want Swift because it does take a while to reload, and if you are fighting bigger enemies, you're going to want that faster reload speed. VAT's AP cost is not that bad for this weapon, so you should never really have to worry about AP. Snipers, because you're going to want to shoot everything from a distance anyways, because you will hurt yourself if not, and that just gives 100% damage to distant targets. And then pinpointers because of the 20% damage to the weak spot. But this is the Broadsider build that I will be using around Appalachia and sometimes in the raids. For the armor that I will be using for the Broadsider build, it is the Brotherhood of Steel Recon armor with Overeaters, Powered, Active, and Rangers. Now, Overeaters because of how much health it gives, Powered for the AP regen, and Active for the plus AP. Along with that, we have Rangers for the increased damage. Now, it does not have to be the Brotherhood of Steel Recon. If you guys have other things like Secret Service, you can use it. Just make sure that these are the legendary effects that you have on for that. But now let's go into detail talking about the rolling pin and the rolling pin build. So obviously the rolling pin is a melee weapon, and it is a super unique melee weapon because it has different things on it, like it has the cursed effect along with everything else. This is just a super fun weapon, especially if you're doing horde events or something like that where there's a bunch of enemies around you. You just take out a bunch of enemies all at once with this build, as you can see. I just really find this a unique and fun thing to use because you just run around and absolutely destroy everything around you. Even something like that, this mole miner that has a decent amount of health, stands a no chance. And you can see that we are bloodied, but it doesn't matter because we are still have high defense as well. But yeah, let's go in and talk about the different build we have for this weapon. So these are the special stats that we have for this build. And this is the perk cards that we have. You can see they are very much so more oriented to strength and how melee damage. Because obviously this is a melee weapon and we are going to want to have that. Another reason we are bloodied is for rad cool. The more rads you have, the more strength. The more strength we have, the more damage we will do with our melee weapons. Along with nerd rage and different things that will help us stay alive for longer. Along with that, these are the special stats, legendary perks that we have. We have all specials and then hack and slash. This is going to help us do more damage to surrounding enemies. But yeah, this is the build. And I will also say, guys, this is going to be the same build for the Sickle, but I will talk about that in a little bit after I show you guys the armor. So the armor that we have is Unyielding, Strength, Sentinels, and Bruisers. All this put together is going to help us do more damage. Unyielding because of the plus to all special stats, which you're going to want to be around 15 to 20 to get that special. And we have the plus 2 to strength, which is going to help us do more damage. Sentinels, because standing still while hitting an enemy will help us have more damage reduction. And bruisers for our weapon, our melee weapon, deal 5% bonus damage. So this is basically just rangers, but for melee weapons. Now for the rolling pin itself, we have Bloodied, Rapid, Strength, and Iceman's. Bloodied because it is going to do more damage the less health we have. Rapid because we will be able to swing and hit targets faster. Strength for the increased damage. And Iceman's for the plus 20% cryo damage. And that is why we have the cryo perk card on as well, guys. So all of this together is going to make this a very good melee weapon. Again, of course, the secret 5th star, which is the cursed effect that gives 35% damage and 15 attack speed. So yes, this is the rolling pin. Along with that, we are going to have the Brotherhood of Steel style for the +4 strength that it gives. Again, the more strength that we have, the more damage we will do with our melee weapons. So now you guys can see, adding all of this together, it does do a lot of damage to a lot of different enemies. Plus, you have a bunch of damage resistance. That guy just blew up in our face, and we survived it. It is just a super good build to do, and you guys can VATS or you can just run around and do whatever you guys would like to. I just really am happy that I got this rolling pin. I was very looking forward to getting this from the Treasure Hunters event. So then for the Sickle, it is going to be the exact same build along with the exact same armor that you guys are going to want to use. This Sickle is also a super fun cursed weapon to use, and again, it is a unique weapon in the fact that it has the cursed effect on it. It is just a really fun and really fun weapon to use. Again, all of these weapons I have had a blast testing out and making builds for. These are just really fun. If you guys have never tested out a melee build before, I strongly suggest you guys making this making these builds. If not the Sickle, then at least the rolling pin, because they are so much fun. It's just very, very fun to try different builds, go away from the norm, keep the game interesting in your own way. That's one of the biggest things is that people always ask me, the game gets stale after a while, but that's because people don't try new things, try new builds, or do other things besides events and raids in the game. Go out and try testing your own new builds or something like that. Or just have fun with your friends. Again, if you guys don't have these or missed out on the opportunity to get them, you can always go around and ask people if they are willing to trade so you guys can actually get your hands on these weapons. Again, linked down below is my Discord, and we have a bunch of people in there who are more than willing to trade for these weapons as well, guys. But with that said, I think that is where I'm going to leave it on this video today. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video, and I hope it helped you out. Please let me know down in the comments if you guys try this build, and if you do, let me know what you think. All these builds are super fun. I had a lot of fun making them and testing them out with the people in my Discord as well. I want to give a special shout out to all the people in my Discord for everything as well. They've been helping me out, just everything from helping me with these builds or just hanging out while we play the game. So big shout out to you guys. If you guys are interested in anything else I do, it also will be linked down in this description. So I do stream on Twitch, and I do have a TikTok that will be linked down below that I would love if you guys could check out. But with all that being said, I will catch you guys in the next one. Please let me know in the comments if you think I missed anything, and have an amazing rest of your guys' day. Peace out, everybody!